So can you still train your muscle if your muscle is still sore from your last workout? Now I got a message from a subscriber and he's asking me the way his split is set out, that a lot of the times whenever he's training one muscle to the next day, the next time that workout falls, that muscle's still sore. He's following the legs push-pull split. And he finds whenever he does his push where he's doing chest, whenever his second push workout falls where he's training chest again, his pecs are often still sore from that last workout. So the real main question in this video is can you still train a muscle if it's sore from the last workout? And is it okay and safe to do so? Now, first of all, what I'm going to say is I am not you, meaning I don't know what pain you're exactly experiencing and what sort of effect it will have in your body. But for the most part, what I'm going to say is for me personally, whenever I'm training, sometimes my muscles will still be sore from a workout before. And I've never taken a day off because my muscle is still sore. And the reason for this is that, you know, your body adapts to different things in life. And for your workouts, if you are just started doing a legs push-pull split and your chest is sore on that second time, and this is your second time ever doing this type of split, well, obviously your body's going to be adjusting to the new workout. You're putting a different style of demand that it's not used to. And obviously it's going to take longer to repair from that. However, over a few months or weeks, you may start to notice that it will change and your body will start recovering quicker. And that's what happened with me. You know, whenever I started doing higher volume, you know, I don't take any days off from the gym. So I do a legs, chest, back, shoulders, arm split. However, I throw in different muscle groups on different days. So on my chest day, I do chest, triceps, and abs. But whenever I do legs, chest, back, shoulders, arms. And my arm day falls just before my leg day and the next day's chest day. Well, often my triceps are still sore from that arm day whenever I go into my chest day, which is a big problem because you don't want your triceps giving out before your pecs. But this only happened to me for 1 week. From whenever I started doing this high volume and I went into doing my arm day and I went back to my chest day, my triceps were still sore. But I just grinded it through the workout. And with that, I now never experienced that same problem because my body adjusted to it. But that's not going to happen to everyone. Obviously, so many different things still need to fall in place. You know, if you're overtraining your central nervous system, you're overtraining the muscle to the point that it actually hasn't recovered in any way. Well, if you're going into a workout and training that same muscle group, you could put yourself at risk of injury. Like, it's absolutely going to be a risk. That's why it's so important that you are so in tune with your body and you know exactly what way it responds. Now, obviously, this comes with experience, so you got to experiment with your training. But if you were just asking me this question and I don't know much about you, I would say, first of all, the most important thing that you want to do is keep your body safe. You know, you obviously want to prolong the longevity that you will be working out. You don't want to be taking a month off because you damage your tricep or you damage your pec muscle because you trained it too much. You got to be very careful. Now, if you're a beginner, definitely don't be just let your body recover and go in fresh to your next workout. You might need to take longer rest. You might need to get in more calories, or you might need to have more sleep. You might need to do more stretches after your workout. However, if you're intermediate to advanced, I advise you to experiment with your training and try. If your muscle's still sore, then go in again and train that muscle. Now, there's so many different levels of muscle soreness. Obviously, you've got the lowest one, which is your muscle feels a tiny bit tight, and there's a wee bit of pain whenever you get a peak contraction in that muscle. That's a very low amount of pain, and that's it in its final stages of recovery. Compared to the muscle, whenever you are touching it, it is so sore to touch. Like the highest level of pain, or one of the top levels, where it's very sore to touch it. And if you tense it in the slightest way, it creates a lot of pain in that muscle. You also are very tight. You don't have a lot of flexibility around that movement. So if you notice what level you're at, if you're at those higher levels of pain, definitely do not fucking work out, because your body is in no way, shape or form ready to perform a workout. And if you go into using the same weights as you did last week and your muscles that sore, you could highly risk snapping your shit up. But what you can do if you want is you can use you can do a lighter chest workout. Do a very light one, very high rep, and get a good pump in the muscle. And this will help loosen that area up and help pump more blood and nutrients into that muscle to help with the recovery. Now that's just a personal choice that you can make. I'm not advising you to do that. Now if you're in the lower levels where it's just a bit sore and it's a wee tiny bit tight, well, all you need to do is make sure that you're well warmed up. You know, a point where a lot of people will go wrong is the muscle is very tight. It's got a lot of stress in it. And if you go into lifting a very heavy weight and get a full range of motion, you could easily tear that muscle. So what you want to make sure that you do is that you completely warm yourself up. So if you're doing a chest workout and you're saying that you do, say your push workout starts off with a barbell bench, well, instead of just going straight into the barbell bench, I advise that you warm up your rotator cuffs. I think the best way to warm up is always to warm up the key joints used in that movement. So what you want to do is warm up your rotator cuffs. You want to warm up your elbows and your wrists. Make sure they're warmed up first. Then start to go into getting blood into the muscle. Now I think a great exercise to get the chest warmed up is a cable fly, because you go through such an extreme range of motion. So I think it's good to start off with the lightest weight you can possibly do and just use that to get the chest opened up, get some blood in it and get it warmed up, and you'll be able to train. So there's 2 easy steps to figuring out whether you can train the muscle and how you can actually do so if you do decide to go to the gym. Now, to talk about me personally, if I am very sore, I would personally do the higher rep workout because I don't want to take a day off from the gym. Now, I'm not the type of person that is silly and doesn't understand whenever the body needs a day off. I will take a week or a day off if I feel like I want to give my body a nice long time to recover. Or if I want to just take that small day off, I'll take a day off if I feel like, you know, my body is just not ready and I'm putting it at risk. But if you train your body and condition it to be able to deal with a workout every day, then you can totally do so. Like, I'm training every single day, and I have been for the last year, maybe the last 2 years. But in those 2 years, I have probably taken 2 weeks off. And that's all that I need, and you need to figure out what works for you. So can you train your muscle if it's still sore? Absolutely. Do I advise it? I don't advise it for beginners, but if you're intermediate to advanced, you definitely can do it. Will it affect your muscle growth? Well, there's 2 ways that this can fall under. If you train the muscle whilst it's still sore, you're conditioning yourself to be able to do more workouts, which over time, compared to if you did that workout less frequently, obviously the more frequently you train a muscle group, the more it will promote muscle growth in that area, as long as you're not overtraining it. Whereas compared to if you find that it was sore whenever you trained that muscle group twice a week and you only started training it once a week, well, then over time, the second choice of training it more frequently will be far greater than the first choice. However, the initial stage where you train the muscle whilst it's still sore, it might have not had enough time to completely recover and grow bigger and stronger for that type of muscle. So it's more what you want to do in the long term rather than just that initial starting stage. So there you have it. There's whether you should train a muscle if you're still sore and how you can do it safely and stay safe whilst training a muscle that's still sore from the last workout. There you have it, guys.